Hey, Truck, I don't know if there's a story here, but I noticed a lot of restaurants and fast food places are promoting chicken pretty heavily, like the chicken Big Mac. I assume that means the price of beef is going up too much, but maybe they know they can't risk scaring away customers by raising the price of their burgers again. Yeah, that could be part of it. I mean, they're definitely pushing the chicken Big Mac. I do say they did a pretty killer, from a marketing POV, a really good influencer activation with Kai Cenat and John Cena. But I thought it was really funny. Again, they had Kai Cenat or John Cena come on to Kai's stream. They both held up a McDonald's chicken burger, and then Fanum came out and Fanum taxed them. He grabbed them both and ate a bite, and he Fanum taxed them, and then the kids went fucking nuts. They went insanely fucking, I mean, from a marketing POV, they understood the assignment. They understood what people would want to see, what would go viral, would do well, and it did really well. I mean, they definitely got their money's worth. So I have to give them credit. However, I do want to say it was funny because John Cena like stops in the middle and gives this inspiring speech.
I used to think I was put on earth to be a wrestler. That was it. I was put on earth to be a WWE superstar. And then I started doing a little bit of acting, and I'm like, oh no, it's easy. I'm a storyteller. No, I'm a human being, breathing air like everybody else, and I'm significantly insignificant. I'm a grain of sand on a beach in a pale blue dot out in the middle of nowhere. I just want to be useful. Life to me is a gift, and dude, I have, in my tenure, I understand. I have been given lottery ticket after lottery ticket after lottery ticket. I am lucky. I understand my luck, and I try to live each day grateful for the luck, and that's my sense of purpose. So now I have what makes me happy, and I can chase those things, and that's what makes the ride super fun, man. To me.
That's fire. That's old.
And that is a beautiful and powerful speech, but it is so cosmically funny to me that it's delivered while they're all wearing chicken Big Mac golden chains as part of a McDonald's ad. The whole reason he's here is to promote McDonald's chicken Big Mac. That's the, it's not like two friends like hanging out over that was cracking me up. Anyway, this was successful and it worked. And props to the McDonald's market. I saw the McDonald's marketing team on social media talking about working on this, and they did a good job. They did a good job. They did. This definitely moved units. This was good. Do you think most people with the Switch would be inclined to buy the Switch too? I think it's been long enough. Can I do a show of hands? Are you a Switch owner in chat who's interested in the Switch too? My hand's up. Yeah, I am. It's been 5 years. People are gonna say yes or no or maybe, and then like a great new Zelda game is gonna come out and everyone's gonna be like, yeah, I gotta get it. That's how it always works. It's been 7 years, I'm sorry. Yeah, Nintendo's got a formula, bro. They'll make a incredible new Mario or incredibly new Zelda or incredible new Pokemon game or whatever, and then everyone's gonna buy it, or an Animal Crossing or whatever. It'll be some game that's like really good, and then you're gonna wanna buy it and you're gonna get one. I think they're doing everything right so far for the Switch too. I wasn't joking in the present. I think Nintendo's doing a lot of things weird or wrong right now, but I think they are like desperate to make the Switch 2 a success. And they're not making their normal mistakes. They're like upgrading the hardware, but not changing it dramatically. They're not doing a stupid name. They're planning a release schedule with enough games. They're giving it time. I think they're doing some smart things. We'll see, but I think it'll play out pretty well. The idea is it should be out April next year. That's the estimate, around then. Check out the leak yet? I did a little funny allusion to it in the presentation, but there's a bunch of Pokemon Game Freak leaks. Most of them are just about like game source code and upcoming games. The interesting one to me on that was about there's a millennial Pokemon show coming out. They are working on a Netflix Kanto only, original 151 only Pokemon show for Netflix just to hook all the lapsed millennials who grew up with Pokemon. That was the biggest leak for me. The biggest leak for the internet was that some writers on Pokemon are freaky. And have a lot of origin stories about Typhlosion humans and having babies and shit. That was the biggest one, but they have a lot of stuff in the works. It was an interesting thing to read. They're folklore stories. You understand, Mom? They're folklore stories. Get off my computer. Get off my computer. I don't read my private journals. They're folklore stories. It's not real, Mom. Have you seen the 2000 show on YouTube called King of the Nerds? I have not, I'm sorry. Wasn't Jaywitz in that? It's so funny you bring up Jaywitz because if you guys don't know, Jaywitz is a pretty big Nintendo and Pokemon YouTuber. I think he's kind of retired now, hasn't made a video in a while, but we became very close friends when we worked together at Twitch. And I was just browsing YouTube on the couch out there, And I got recommended an old Jaywitz video about Pokemon Master Trainer, the board game from 7 years ago. Anyway, it got 2.7 million views. I watched this video. And I just started watching the video, and then he describes playing an extremely frustrating game with coworkers. And I remembered that I was in that game. I forgot he brought this game to the office and we all played it, and it took 4.5 hours while we were drinking. And we, it turns out that this game is designed for children who don't really care about the rules. But if you follow the rules to the letter, the game is like impossible to win. And we found that out in real time. So anyway, it was just a fun memory lane trip. I sent him a message. Or are you just bad at it? Or am I just bad at it? Or is Jaywitz just bad at it? You think Jaywitz, a Nintendo GOAT Pokemon YouTuber, is bad at it? He describes in the video how the rules, because the problem is, okay, there's one card that is very common to get. It lets you re-roll a dice. Anyone's dice, not even just yours, anyone's dice. And the game, to be beaten, requires a number of perfect dice rolls to go really well. And so obviously, if you're about to win, everybody just keeps throwing down the card to get a re-roll till you lose. And it happens often. And then just to get a chance to do the final fight again is completely random, and you're rolling in a circle till you land on one spot. So it's like, the game can take forever, and it did. It did. We were just rolling and drinking and rolling and drinking and and then you stack up more and more cards. Who won? I have no idea. It's been a long time. I don't remember who won, but probably not me, because if I won, I'd remember that. How do you think China using massive debt swaps instead of a capital outcome the stimulus? It remains to be seen, man. I've been reading a lot about it. The China stimulus, the problem is, without getting too in the weeds, is Chinese consumers are very hesitant to spend. Chinese consumers are extreme savers, as opposed to American consumers, which are extreme spenders. The entire other end of the spectrum. American consumers are much more likely to take on debt and spend and keep the economy growing and moving, which is generally what you want. Chinese consumers are not, especially in risky times. They've increased their saving. They're saving a lot, and they're uncertain about the future because their previous savings was in real estate. A lot of Chinese people had their savings, their life savings, in real estate, and the real estate is every month going down in value. Understand that makes you not want to spend it all. Imagine you're just a regular Chinese citizen and you've been working for 15, 20 years and all your money has gone towards an apartment or a house that is now declining in value. That doesn't mean collapse. It doesn't mean, but what it means is you're not going to spend that much. You're going to have to save more. You're worried about retirement. You're just going to be more frugal. And that is what's happening. Like, they're having deflationary problems. Is that we're having inflationary problems? They have the opposite. Prices are going down on everything, but like the economy is slowing. And so they're trying to stimulate, they're trying to get it going. But unless that consumer demand picks up, it won't mean anything. It won't, they have to do that. Housing gets more expensive, people complain. Housing gets cheaper, people complain. Yeah, it's really when one follows the other, okay? When housing keeps going up in price for a very long time, people rely on that. It becomes people's retirement. They start assuming that housing is a good investment. Ideally, housing would be flat to down forever. And people would think of housing like cars, where it's like the second you buy it, it goes down in value. But that's not what's been happening. And so housing has been such a stable source of income and growth and investment for so long that so many families have so much of their wealth tied up in it. And so if there's a bubble bursting and the price starts to go down really fast, it has terrible economic ramifications, like in 07, or like in Canada in a year and a half. That's how they see it in Japan, and it's great. Yes, but again, understand that Japan has had 2 lost decades because of the real estate bubble collapse there. Understand that Japan had a massive real estate bubble in #89, then it collapsed, then they had 2 lost decades because of it. Now they have a normal, good housing market where things are pretty cheap. But you have to understand, like, if you let the problem get so big, unwinding it is going to cause pain, even if it's the right thing to do. And that's sort of what's happening in China.